This is all about radiant barriers. What we're going to talk about is what do you need to do this. Basically, the number one thing you need is foil. Foil basically comes in several grades. You can get essentially polyethylene or polypropylene with aluminum bonded to either side. Most places that sell this are going to have more than one grade. And one of the things you can find out in the grades is that whether or not it rips by hand, or whether or not you have to have a knife or you have to have a scissors to cut it. What brand you get, probably not as important as what grade you get. Make sure you get the highest level grade you can get, because that's the strongest, it's the easiest to work with, and it basically will never go away. I mean, it's armor plating, for lack of a better word. This is basically what the pattern looks like. It's, as I said, this one right here is polyethylene, and it's got aluminum bonded to either side. It is paper thin, so it literally does not need much to adhere it to the surface with a staple. You only need small staples. I'll show you that in a second. This is it. This is sum total. I cut off a little square, and we essentially have that there. Not much. Okay. Next thing you need is a stapler. I prefer the kind that have the leverage where the staples come out. So essentially, whenever you staple something, you are pressing literally where the staple is going to come out. That's just a preference. They're also generally cheaper, and you can get them almost any place. Next thing, as I said, scissors. If you get the strong radiant barrier foil, you literally have to have something to cut it with. You can't just rip it with your hands. You need to have either a box cutter, a blade, or I use scissors. Next thing you're going to need is a level. And actually what I do with my level is, this is how you find out the pitch of your roof, because you got to find out how much stuff do you need. You take the level, and you literally go at the level of the roof, and you go up 12 inches and 12 inches. Here, do this way. So now you can see 12 inches and 12 inches. So you want to find out literally what the pitch is to the roof. 12 inches out, 12 inches in. So what I'm going to do is basically go to here, level it out, look at my 12 inches, and I can see, in this case, it's 7. So I've got a pitch of 7 over 12. That's what you're going to need to know, along with the square footage of the house, to figure out how much radiant barrier to buy. Now, when you buy the radiant barrier, you're basically buying in a box like this, if you get essentially wholesale by bulk. It's about a 4-foot box. It's a 4-foot roll. I actually talked to the distributor, and he pulled it out of the roll, cut it into a 2-foot sections, two 2-foot sections. So it's a whole lot easier to hold up this with one hand and staple with the other than it is to hold a 4-foot long roll. Those are just preferences of mine. After doing this for a while, you figure out what makes things easier. I happen to have staples for my staple gun. You only need literally 1/4 inch. Now this is just standard staples, but essentially it is 1/4 inch thick. That's all you need. I have a nifty little tool here called a infrared thermometer. You can get these on just about anywhere on the internet. It's a little trigger device. You point it where you want to essentially find out the temperature, press the button, and on the readout of the back, it will tell you how hot it is. This is a great way for instant feedback to find out how hot the attic is before and after. A lot of people want to know this. Specialty foil, they've got something called bubble wrap. This happens to be essentially 2 layers of bubble wrap with foil attached to either side. It's a lot stiffer, it's a lot bulkier, and it's meant to be used in specialty applications because it's got a little bit of a thermal bridge, or a little bit of a thermal to it, insulation, with both of the reflection on either side. You can use this in places where essentially the foil may or may not hold up. If you don't have a whole lot of places to attach things and you need something stiff and you need something that'll literally hold itself, it will. 1 or 2 staples and it'll hold better than the other one. So it's more expensive, so it's more of a specialty application. So you try not to use it everywhere you go. Water. This is essential. You must have lots of water. Why? Attics are hot. They're always hot. Really doesn't matter when you're up there. It just feels like they're just always hot. As a matter of fact, using my handy-dandy infrared thermometer, I currently have 106. It's morning. We haven't even gotten to the hot part of the day yet. And the plywood is already 106 degrees. That's what it's radiating directly down on me. If you can see the sweat, obviously I need lots of water because you dehydrate and life is rough.